Hi, welcome back to Vitality Power Pilates. My name is Hope, and today I'm going to be taking you through a 20-minute full body Pilates workout with weights. I have my 3-pound ball of weights. If you don't have any weights, don't worry about it. I wish I had some sunglasses, but here we are. In beautiful, sunny South Florida, I am going to take you through a wonderful workout that will leave your body feeling rejuvenated, refreshed, and a little bit tighter in the muscle region. So, with that being said, we're going to come down on our mat. We have our nice soft surface under our bum, under our sit bones. Our feet are going to be in a crisscross position. You can either stack them on top of one another like I have, or you can sit just however comfortably you like with those legs tucked in. I want you to take those hands, press them down onto your knees. We're going to roll those shoulders down and back, shutting those eyes. We're going to breathe in deeply and exhale everything out through the mouth. We're going to continue this breath pattern, inhaling deeply and exhaling through the mouth. I want you to think about tuning into your body, creating that mind to muscle connection. So when we breathe in, I want you to think about your belly and your lungs filling up with air. And exhale it out, feeling some space between your muscles and your body. Bringing those hands up your thighs. I want you to think about really being present. Start to squeeze those legs, wake up the body, wake up the muscles, get some feeling in those legs. Tighten your grip around those legs, rolling those shoulders down and back, generating some space, sitting nice and tall. The next 20 minutes, maybe it's the only time we have for ourselves today, so I want you to really think about being present on your mat, letting your mind flow to someplace good, and letting your body just feel everything that it wants to feel. With that, I would like you to open your eyes. I want you to bring those legs together, untucking from that crisscross, and I want you to send your feet forward, facing one direction in the long way on your mat. From here, we're going to place our hands by our side. Both hands are outside of the legs. We're going to slowly lower into that C curve, squeezing our lower tummy. We're going to lift those arms up all the way above the head and lower them all the way down, pinkies facing down onto the mat. All the way up, you feel that tummy tighten, those muscles tighten. We lower those pinkies down to the mat. 2 more times, waking up the body. Maybe it's the first thing you're doing this morning, or maybe it's the first type of movement you're doing after a long work day. I want you to just feel that burn, feel those muscles start to turn on as we lower those pinkies down. From here, hands lift up, we hold it. We bring those hands together and apart, hands together and apart for 5, 4, 3, squeeze, 2, 1. Hands come apart, they lower down, palms down onto the mat. We rock ourselves back, bringing those legs up to a tabletop. Knees are parallel, shins are facing the sky, pointing through those toes. We keep our head, neck, and shoulders lifted off of the mat. I want you to take those hands up, extend the legs long. Arms come down, legs come in. Creating that straight line with the body, squeezing through those abs, squeezing those thighs, lengthening through the toes and the hands. You have 5, 4, 3, chin is high for 2, 1, hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down to the mat. Bring those hands back down by your sides. I want you to bring those legs up to a tabletop, extending them up nice and long, extending through that tabletop position. From here, we're going to open those legs out to either side of the body, pull them in, crossing one foot in front of the other, letting them go, pulling them in, squeezing those abs. There should be no space between your lower back and the mat. The tiniest piece of paper would not be able to fit. You're that close, you're that compact down to the mat. Bring those legs in, squeezing those inner thighs as we pull those feet together. 4, squeeze those abs. 3, 2, 1, extend them long, circle them down. down out to the side, lowering the heels down to the mat. From here, I want you to take your hands, one towards your belly button, one on your rib cage, and I want you to just rub out gently any extra tightness or any tension you have, letting your body know that it's time to work and that it's capable of doing hard things, of doing the kind of work that pushes the limits, but it makes you feel so freaking good. Bringing those hands to a stop, I want you to walk those feet in. I want you to take the hands behind the back of your head, lifting the head, neck, and shoulders off of the mat. We're gonna lift the legs to a tabletop position, elbows out wide. We're gonna open through the knee, curl ourselves up, lower ourselves down, close the knees. Open, lift, lower, and close. Open, lift, beautiful. Squeezing those legs together as we bring them in and opening up, squeezing that tummy as we lift. Slowly lowering ourselves down, lift. 2 more. So the head's not coming all the way down to the mat even when we lower. Everything is lifted from here, legs are together. We bring those hands down by the side. We pulse those arms for 10. Squeezing the shoulders off of the mat, chin up high, 8. 7 little pulses with those hands. Create just enough movement in that upper body to make it that much more difficult. You can do it. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the legs down, hands down, upper body down. Beautiful. From here, those legs are one is going to cross over the other, generating a figure 4 motion. One leg is bent down, feet firmly planted onto the mat. I just want you to take one hand, press your leg out to the side, pressing into the knee, opening up through the hips, and gently bringing it back to center. We lift the leg that's down onto the mat, opening up that hip a little bit deeper, wrapping the hands around the thigh, and slowly lowering it down. Uncross those legs, other leg comes over. We have that figure 4 motion. Taking one hand, gently pressing onto the knee, opening up through the hip, slowly bringing that leg back to center, lifting the leg that's down and bent, pulling it by taking those hands to the back of the thigh, deepening that stretch just enough where it feels tight, but it doesn't hurt. Lowering the leg down, taking those hands away from the thigh, uncrossing those fingers. I want you to take both legs into the chest and roll up with me. From here, we're going to flip onto a tabletop position. We're going to grab our weights. We're going to take one weight onto our mat. Other weight can stay where it is for the moment. I want you to place that weight in between the hands, in between your tabletop position. So in tabletop, our shoulders are stacked over those elbows. Elbows are stacked over those wrists. We're not sagging through the belly. Our spine is tucked in. We feel activated, but we're not super uncomfortable. Those hips are stacked over the knees, and the tops of our toes and feet are flat onto the mat. From here, I want you to extend your right leg. We extend it back. Our spine does not change position. We're not sagging. We're not arching. We're having a straight back through the head, crown facing the top of your mat. I want you to take the weight that's in the middle of your body to the opposite hand. So your left hand and your right leg are lifted. From here, we lift that weight off of the mat, tucking the elbow into the side. I just want you to lower that foot down and lift it up. Lower and lift. Beautiful. Generating some balance in that core and starting to wake up the backside. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The hand that has the weight in it, I want you to extend it back through the elbow. We keep the leg lifted as we pulse that arm up, keeping it close to our body, feeling the heaviness of the weight, squeezing that core together. You might be tempted to let that head drop to see what's going on behind you. I don't want you to let your neck drop down. Head stays nice and long. You have 5 more pulses. Breathe. Arms are feeling strong. 3, 2, and 1. I want you to take your hand up, keeping everything elevated off of the mat, flipping the hand so the palm is facing the sky or the ceiling of whatever room you're in. We pulse and lower. Pulse and lower. This time it's a little bit slower than we just did. Really targeting that tricep for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping it lifted, I want you to take that right leg. We bring it in, toes towards the bum, and lower it. In and out. We keep everything lifted for 5, 4. Squeeze that tricep, that mind to muscle comes in. 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg, lower the weight, lower the hand. We take it to the other side so that leg comes back into tabletop position. I'm gonna flip sides so you can, actually, I want you to see my arms, so you know how close your elbows should be tucked into that side body. We extend out through the left leg. Our right hand grabs that weight, it comes up, squeezing the elbow to that side of your body, to the ribs. All we're going to do is lower the leg and lift. Lower and lift. Squeezing through the quad, the glute, really working on that lower body and that balance. Our midsection should stay nice and strong. You have 5. Lift a little bit slower. Feel that total control. Last 3, 2, 1. Keeping it lifted, pointing through those toes. We extend the weight back, lifting through the elbow and lower it, keeping everything tucked into that side body. You have 10. Gazes forward. 8. Squeeze that arm. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse it up for 10. Everything is getting squeezed together. Every part of your body is working in unison to keep you lifted. 6, 5, 4. We flip to that palm in 3, 2, 1. Palm towards the top of your sky, your ceiling. We hold it up. We pulse and lift. Pulse and lift. 10, 9. It's a little bit slower. I got a little excited. We slow it down to feel that burn. Beautiful. You have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted. Last thing we do, we bring that toe towards our bum. Extend it long. Lift. Extend for 5. We drop everything in 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that leg long, lower it down, dropping the weight. Coming back to a tabletop position, I want you to take those legs a little bit wider than those hips, We lower ourselves back, letting our upper body stay nice and tall. We're still in control. And we just pulse a little bit, stretching out that side and the back side of our body. When you feel ready and comfortable, I want you to come up to a tabletop position. I want you to grab both weights into your hands. Our upper body is hanging over those knees. We're gonna lift one weight and lower. Other arm and lower. Lift, lift. So in this position, we're not only working on our upper body by lifting that weight up and squeezing those elbows together, we're also focusing on our core strength. So I want you to think about bracing through that mid body, keeping that belly button close to the spine, like you're showing off your abs. I want you to really make a nice straight ab line. Beautiful. Lift and lower. Last one. Lowering it down, walking those weights in towards the body, coming up into a high kneeling position. We're gonna work on our thighs a little bit. So I'm actually gonna come to the side so you can see me. We're in that high kneeling position. Our feet are long towards the back of our mat. We're going to extend the weights forward, right in front of the chest, and we're going to take our body weight back, leaning back, but keeping that straight line through from the head down to the knees. From here, we're going to lift up, squeezing that backside, squeezing those legs, coming back, arms extend out long, coming forward, 2 more just like this. We lift through those arms, squeezing those thighs. 1 more time, leaning backwards, squeezing everything we have, coming up to a center position. From here, we drop those weights down. I want you to come back down onto the backs of those legs. We're gonna lift up, press up, lower, down. Lift, press, lower, down. Lift, press, yes, nice. Lifting, squeezing those glutes and lower. If you want to add those weights in, you can. It's up and down, up and down. Squeeze it, 2 more. Last one. Press up, come down. Beautiful. Taking those weights, both weights into one hand, rotating back onto our tushy, onto our bum. We're going to send those legs out long, keeping our toes planted down onto the mat. Taking those weights together in one hand. I have them in my right hand. We're going to lift up nice and tall, crunching, bring the knee to the opposite elbow, extend the hand. Bring it in and lift, in and lift. Nice, you have 5. Squeezing, maybe we lower that upper body just a little bit more back so you feel it in those abs a bit deeper. 3, 2, 1, extend it up, extend that leg long, we pulse it out for 5. Squeezing that tummy, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg back home. Swapping hands, both weights go into the other side. We take our leg up, knee to elbow, extend it up. Beautiful. So we're moving both the arm and the leg as we lift and lower for 5, 4, 3, press those weights up, 2, 1, keep it lifted, extend that leg long, pulse it up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Foot comes down, weights come down, whole body comes down. Nice, I want you to drop those weights down onto the mat just for a second, keeping them close to your body. We're gonna focus on finishing strong through that back side. We lift to a glute bridge. So those feet are firmly planted down onto your mat. Shoulders, head, and neck are down. Arms feel tension. They're trying to push the mat away from the body. I want you to hold it here. When you feel comfortable, I want you to grab those weights. 1 weight in each hand. We're gonna press up through the arms. So the weight should be just above the chest. We squeeze those legs. We squeeze that bum for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're gonna lower the mid body and lower the arms, taking the weights back behind the head, but they're not touching. And lift. Lowering the weights down as the lower body taps the mat, and then we bring everything up. We're finishing strong in this glute bridge, so stick with me. You have 5, just like this. 4. Everything feels nice and tight, lengthening through those arms as you extend. This is 2. Squeeze as we lift, last 1. Everything lifts off the mat. Maybe you walk those feet in just a little bit more closer to the body. From here, hands are gonna stay elevated, holding those weights nice and strong. We press through the balls of our feet, so lifting the heels off of the mat, bringing those thighs together. From here, we're gonna just hold that upper body up. So the legs are off, squeezing together through the thighs. We take those hands out to either side of our body, of our mat, and bring it up with control, lowering and lifting. Squeezing through those legs as we lift the heel, it generates a bit more power through that lower body, and then squeezing those thighs together really creates a lot more tension. As we take those arms down, they're not hitting the ground, and we lift them up. You have 5. This is the finale for 4. Targeting that stubborn armpit area. 3, curl it up, control it down. Last one, bring it up, little pulses through those legs, squeeze it here. You have 10. Bum tries to hit the mat. It's a little too hot. There's a fire. There's a mat under your bum. You don't want to hit it, so you pulse it up. Yes. 5, 4, squeeze those legs together. Thighs are touching. 3, 2, 1, keep it lifted. Take those legs apart, lower down, heels down to the mat. We lower the upper body, weights come down, lowering everything down besides you. Bum is the last thing to hit the mat. We extend those legs nice and long, finding space back in that lower body, sending those hands above the head. We lift up, trying to do it just from the abs, taking those feet out a little bit wider to either side of your mat. We're gonna reach forward, trying to touch those toes, those ankles, your calves, letting the head, the neck, everything fall. Pulling on those feet to feel that deep, deep stretch. From here, I want you to walk your hands up slowly, up your leg. We come to a nice, tall, seated position. Pretend there's a straight wall behind your back and you want to press up against it, lowering those shoulders down away from the head. Bringing those legs back in to that seated position. I'm going to twist to see you guys. You stay where you are on your mat. We come back into that crisscross. We find comfort in finishing where we started. Our body has come full circle. We feel good. We feel strong. I hope you feel challenged, but I hope you feel good. Closing those eyes, rolling those shoulders down and back. I want you to send those hands up above the head, touching the hands at the top, bringing them down to heart center. Elbows go out to the side. Take a second to just be with your body. I'm so proud of you for showing up for yourself today, for committing to 20 minutes of good self-care, some movement. It feels awesome to work out with you, and I hope to see you in the next video. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Unclasp those hands, stretch out that body. I hope you feel as good as I do. Bye.